Welcome to Moon Mind. In this video. Tonight, something different is going to happen. Your mind has been working hard for a long time, thinking, analyzing, trying to solve everything. And yet, no matter how much effort you put in, true rest still feels just out of reach. What you're about to experience doesn't ask your mind to try harder. In fact, it works in the opposite way. For thousands of years, these ancient Buddhist stories have helped people discover a kind of rest that thinking alone can never provide. Not because they teach you more ideas, but because they gently guide your mind to stop exhausting itself. Over the next few hours, you'll hear 12 timeless stories. A monk who awakened not through study, but through something as simple as sweeping the ground. A centipede who lost its natural grace the moment it started thinking about how to walk. A woman who lost everything in a single day, and in that loss, found a freedom she never imagined possible. And a teacher who answered life's deepest question, without speaking a single word. These stories do something instructions often cannot. They don't tell your mind what to do. They allow your mind to soften on its own. As you listen, you may notice something subtle beginning to shift. Your breath may slow. Your body may release tension you didn't realize you were holding. The constant noise in your thoughts may begin to quiet, not because you forced it, but because it finally has permission to rest. And the most beautiful part is this. This works even if you've never meditated. Even if your mind feels restless all the time. Even if nothing else has helped before. Because beneath all the thinking, your mind already knows how to be still. It has simply forgotten. The Buddha once said, "The mind is restless, difficult to control, always chasing what it desires. But a mind that is gently steadied brings deep happiness." Tonight, you won't control your mind. You'll allow it. So before we begin, find a comfortable position. Let your body settle naturally. Take a slow, full breath in. And gently let it go. There's nowhere else you need to be. Nothing you need to achieve. For this time, you are allowed to simply be. Your rest begins now. The first story, the monk who couldn't understand. Long ago, in the mountains of ancient China, there was a monastery known for its brilliance. Scholars traveled from distant lands to study there. The halls were filled with debates about profound teachings, discussions of emptiness, long recitations of sacred texts, and complex philosophical questions that challenged even the sharpest minds. Intelligence was admired. Quick understanding was respected. And those who could speak eloquently about the teachings were held in the highest regard. Among all these gifted students lived one young monk, who seemed different. He wasn't dull in spirit, but he struggled to understand. No matter how patiently the teachers explained, no matter how many times ideas were repeated, the teaching simply didn't land for him. While others nodded with clarity, he sat confused. While others recited perfectly, he stumbled over words. While others asked insightful questions, he remained silent, unsure where to begin. The other monks gave him a quiet nickname. The Simple One. Not out of cruelty, but out of quiet resignation. It seemed he just wasn't capable of grasping the deeper teachings. Still, he showed up every day. Listened carefully. Tried sincerely. And the abbot, the head of the monastery, noticed something others did not. He saw the effort. He saw the sincerity. He saw a kind of presence in the young monk that didn't depend on understanding. One morning, after another lesson had passed beyond his grasp, the abbot called him aside. "I will give you a different practice," he said gently. Hope lit up the young monk's face. Finally, something he might understand. "You will sweep the courtyard," the abbot continued. "Each morning, at dawn. Just sweep. Nothing more." The monk bowed deeply. He accepted without question. At first, he thought this was temporary, a simple task until he could return to real practice. But days became weeks. Weeks became months. Months turned into years. And still, his only instruction remained the same. Sweep the courtyard. While others studied sacred texts, he swept fallen leaves. While others meditated deeply, he brushed dust from stone. While others debated philosophy, he cleared morning dew from the ground. Years passed. Students came and went. Some became teachers. Some left the monastery. Some gave up entirely. But he remained. Sweeping. 10 years. 20 years. 30 years. 40 years. By now, new monks didn't even question it. He was simply part of the monastery. Like the trees. Like the stones. The quiet man with the broom. But something had changed. Not on the outside, his life looked the same. But inside, something had become still. When you repeat a simple action for long enough, something interesting happens. The mind runs out of things to think about. There's nothing new to analyze. Nothing to solve. Nothing to achieve. And slowly, gently, the thinking begins to fade. His hands knew how to move. His body knew the rhythm. The sound of the broom against stone. The cool air of morning. The shifting light of sunrise. There was nothing to understand. Only this. Only now. Only sweeping. One morning, the abbot, now very old, stood quietly watching him. Each movement was steady. Unrushed. Complete. No desire to finish faster. No concern about doing it right. No thoughts pulling him elsewhere. Just, presence. Tell me, the abbot said softly. What is the meaning of the great teaching? This was a question that had confused scholars for generations. The other monks leaned in, expecting a deep answer. But the man who had never understood a single lecture, simply lifted his broom, and smiled. That was all. And in that moment, the abbot understood. This man had not learned through words. He had not mastered philosophy. He had done something far more rare. He had stopped trying to understand. And started simply being. The abbot bowed deeply to him. The other monks were stunned. How could this be? But what they didn't see was this. They had filled their minds with knowledge. He had emptied his. They tried to reach peace through thinking. He found it when thinking fell away. And this points to something important for you. Right now, your mind might still be doing what those scholars did. Trying to understand. Trying to figure this out. Wondering if you're getting it. But peace doesn't come from figuring everything out. It comes when the need to figure things out softens. So as you continue listening tonight, you don't need to analyze these stories. You don't need to search for meaning. Let them move through you, the way wind moves through trees. Because sometimes, the deepest rest doesn't come from knowing more. It comes from finally allowing yourself to stop trying so hard.